Many people use apps to browse online, talk to friends, or find imposters in games like Among Us. However, there are some iPhone apps that are so unusual it's surprising they would be allowed to exist. Here are the top 15 most unusual iPhone apps ever created. Number 15. I Am Rich. It's many people's dream to one day be rich, but we'd say that owners of the I Am Rich app are a little prouder of their wealth than most. That's because rather than flaunt it with a nice suit, watch, or bottle of wine, they've decided to drop a ridiculous $999 on an app. Now, the app itself is absolutely pointless, as all it said was, "I am rich, I deserve it. I am good, healthy, and successful." Yet, despite this, a total of 8 people bought the app in the one day that it was on the App Store. Many copycats have been made ever since in a bid to try to capture a wealthy audience. And while many people have berated the app for its stupidity, 6 out of the 8 people who bought it ultimately didn't ask for a refund and were reportedly pretty satisfied with their purchase. Number 14. Watching the Cute Girl X. While many people dream of catching the attention of a cute girl, this app takes this concept and applies it in a truly terrifying way. That's because Watching Cute Girl is essentially an app where a purportedly cute girl stares at you, with her smiling or saying something to you at random intervals. Now, the girl on the screen interacts with you with the help of about 180 supporting video clips, with her getting annoyed or angry when you shake the screen, and amiable when you don't do anything at all. However, while the creator of the app said that he designed it to provide companionship when you're lonely and just want to see another human face, the whole thing comes off as insanely creepy. And while its price of $3.99 turned many people away when it first came out in 2012, it became completely free in 2014, meaning that it should have become more popular. However, due to the fact that it's no longer on the App Store, we think it's fair to say that it didn't become popular enough. Number 13. Places I've Pooped. As any of you who've ever owned a pet dog would know, they feel an innate need to mark their territory. After all, anytime you go for a walk, you can expect them to take a wee next to the tree trunks, stop signs, and garbage bins that you find along your path. And while humans have never really engaged in this type of behavior, there is an app out there that makes it so you can. Known as the Places I've Pooped app. It allows you to mark your territory by putting geolocation pins on all the spots that you've pooped at. Then, once these are marked down, you can add your friends and compare your locations, with the app in fact giving you a notification when someone you follow drops a new poop pin. As such, while Places I've Pooped may be pretty strange, it can definitely lead to some fun competition between friends. Number 12. Voodoo. In all honesty, voodoo is a little creepy to the majority of the population. After all, while it's a bona fide religion in many parts of the world, the trademark figures with pins sticking out of them have cast voodoo in a rather negative light. Yet if you happen to find sticking pins into a doll to be relaxing, then iVoodoo is the app for you. That's because it essentially allows you to keep a virtual collection of 5 voodoo dolls, with all 5 being outfitted with different names, and even with faces that can be selected from your photo gallery. From there, the user can then choose to stick these dolls with a variety of 7 different pins, with these including both positive and negative selections. However, despite being the perfect voodoo tool, the app never really caught on, and thus is no longer on the App Store. Number 11. Nothing. We've all tried at some point to make something out of nothing, but the developers of Nothing made nothing out of something by creating the Nothing app. Put simply, what we're trying to say here is that the Nothing app, while being made like any other app, literally does nothing. That's because after opening the app, users are greeted with a black screen and a button that says Nothing and does nothing. Best of all, because the app has nothing on it, it sells for nothing, making it an absolutely free addition to any iPhone. Thus, if you want to download an app that promises nothing and delivers nothing, then the Nothing app is for you. Number 10. Yo. Whether you like it or not, yo has become a popular phrase amongst teens in recent years. And while it's mostly used in informal situations, the Yo app elevates the word to a whole new level by allowing it to be your go-to response to any social interaction. Now, the app essentially works by giving you a whole host of options on how to send you to various people. For example, you can send a yo to anyone in your contacts and attach a phone, a song, or even a location so as to give the yo more context. You can also send a yo to let FedEx know you've got a package, send a yo to the Uber Eats guy to tell him you're on the way downstairs, or even subscribe to getting a yo in your notifications when your favorite celebrities post something on Instagram. Thus, while yo may seem pretty mundane on its own, this app allows it to be inserted into nearly every social interaction. Number 9. Pimple Popper. While the past few years have brought upon a whole host of strange things, perhaps one of the weirdest has been the widespread obsession of many with pimple popping. After all, videos of pimples being popped often garner millions of views on YouTube, and the famed Sandra Lee, who brands herself as Dr. Pimple Popper, has become so well loved that she even has her own television show. Thus, as weird as it may be, it really shouldn't come as much of a surprise that there is now an app that allows people from around the world to pop pimples virtually. Known as the Pimple Popper app, it essentially makes this fun bodily obsession an addicting game. Now, the app has blackheads, whiteheads, full-blown pimples, and scabs on offer, with a total of 18 different faces to pop across levels that reset the pimple positions for every new game. This allows the app to provide its users with nearly endless amounts of fun, as they can always try a new challenge whenever they open up the app. And while there have been a plethora of complaints in recent months about the game freezing too often and showing too many ads, we'd say the app is still worth giving a shot. We're constantly adding more people to the Top 5's production team to bring you all the best content. Be sure to subscribe with notifications on and hit the like button. Number 8. Bristler. We all have at least one friend that's a facial hair aficionado, and it seems that growing a beard has become more and more trendy in recent years. While there are some people who certainly prefer their partner to have some hairy facial goodness, Bristler brings this obsession to a whole new level by being a dating site that's specifically meant for men with beards. Now, upon first entering the app, Bristler asks you whether or not you have a beard. If you do have one, then you make a profile where you can post your best beard pics to the dating platform. However, if you don't have a beard, you're then invited to make a non-beard profile, where you can then peruse pictures of men with beards and swipe right on those you like. From there, the app works in a similar way to Tinder, as matches can chat and then opt to meet up to go on dates. However, it should be noted that the app still has a long way to go. That's because while nice touches such as Bristler's beard rating system and spam message blocker have been appreciated by users, many complain that it needs more advertising, as there are simply too few people using it to make it worthwhile. Thus, while Bristler certainly has some potential to be great, it hasn't exactly realized it as of yet. Number 7. iShaver Pro. Let's face it, shaving is a pain. After all, be it getting rid of that morning shadow or making your legs smooth and silky, shaving is typically pretty time-consuming, and it's not exactly the activity of choice for most. However, despite this, there is in fact an app that allows you to virtually shave to your heart's content. Known as iShaver Pro, the app first functions by allowing you to choose between brown, black, white, or gray hair. From there, you choose how long you'd like the hair to be, whether or not you'd like a vibration, and if you pay an extra fee, you can even choose between a wide selection of razors. Then all you must do is tap on the screen, and then the shaving will begin, with your phone making all the sounds that a real shaver would. Best of all, as you shave, virtual hairs will also fall down from the screen, simulating the experience of real-life shaving. Therefore, while simulated shaving isn't exactly on the top of most people's to-do list, this free little virtual tool is certainly a fun little gag app to have on your phone. Number 6. I Am Bread. While most of the apps on this list are strange in some way, none let you personify a piece of bread. Yet that's the exact experience you get to enjoy while using the app I Am Bread. Now, the goal of each level is to turn yourself from a piece of bread into a piece of toast. This is achieved by escaping from the kitchen and working through a number of obstacles. While doing so, you must ensure that you don't touch anything that could affect your edibility, as interacting with things such as ants, water, or the floor will decrease your edibility meter. Interestingly enough, this grand journey is done over a series of 8 levels, as accompanied by a very intricate storyline that centers around the owner of the house believing that a thief, and not a piece of bread, had been messing with everything in his house. Now, you may expect that such an unusual game would be confined to the outer reaches of the App Store, but that simply isn't the case. That's because I Am Bread is in fact a very popular game, as it's not only been optimized on Microsoft Windows, OS X, iOS, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Android, but has over 1,000 reviews, with most being positive. Thus, so long as you're willing to fork over $4.99, then you too can enjoy this strange yet addicting game. Number 5. RunP. Let's face it, we've all been in a movie theater at some time or another and had to go to the bathroom. Yet unless it's a movie you've watched before, it's hard to know whether you'll miss something important and spend the whole movie playing catch-up trying to figure out what you've missed. However, RunP effectively solves this problem. That's because for the price of just 3 advertisements or a 10-cent payment, it will start a timer that will vibrate 30 seconds before the start of a pee time. This pee time is your cue for you to leave your seat and use the restroom, where you can then quickly read a summary of what you're missing, with the timer then alerting you as when the pee time will be over so that you can return to your seat before the important scenes resume. Then, once the movie is over, the app will even go so far as to tell you whether or not there will be an end credit scene and if it's worth sticking around for. However, even outside of the theater, RunP can be useful in determining what movies are worth seeing and which ones are worth skipping out on. That's because RunP has a library that has all the newest movies updated to it, either on or before release day, and will sort them based on your age and gender to inform you as to whether you're likely to enjoy a given movie or not. When you then further consider that RunP will even link you to IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes in case you still have any concerns, it becomes clear that despite its strange name and concept, it's in fact a great tool to ensure that every movie-watching experience is a great one. Number 4. Ihobo. At first glance, Ihobo may seem like one of the most disgusting apps on the App Store. After all, the entire game centers around taking care of a pet homeless person. And while it may seem crude to treat a human like a Tamagotchi, the app is in fact made in much better taste than you might think. You see, each rendition of the game takes place over a 3-day period. And as the user, you have to ensure that you feed your hobo, put him to sleep, and give him medicine when he's sick. If you don't, he risks dying from a drug overdose or lack of food, with the game sending you guilt trip messages such as, "He's been offered drugs to block out the cold. If you were here, he might not have accepted them." Thus, the users of the app have reported that it's been effective in keeping homelessness in their minds, when it otherwise would have not been, and helping them to remember that homeless people are humans too. To top this off, users have also reported that they were more likely to give to a homeless person on the street, or donate to a homelessness-related charity after playing the game. Thus, when you consider that it was created by Publicis London to raise awareness of DePaul UK, which is a charity devoted to youth homelessness, you could say that it's been quite successful in its aims. As such, while this app is certainly unusual, it's unfortunately no longer available. We'd think you'd agree that it certainly did a lot of good during its tenure on the App Store. Number 3. Cuddler. While Tinder and Grindr may be all the rage, a new type of app has emerged that allows for intimacy sans the spicy bits. Known as Cuddler, this is an app that is supposed to allow its users to find people to cuddle with that live nearby. Now, the app is set up much like Tinder, as people swipe right or left the people they would potentially like to cuddle. Then, if they do match with someone, they can both begin to message each other, and then set up a date as to when and where to cuddle. From there, the app gives geolocational directions on how to get to each other's houses, and once this is done, you can officially meet your new cuddle partner. Then, once the cuddle sesh is over, you can leave a thumbs up or thumbs down review of your cuddler, depending on your experience. Now, as you could imagine, this app has garnered heaps of criticism due to the fact that there are many people who try to use it to get a little closer than the app intends them to. And while there are some genuine cuddlers out there, many hope to use it to get into a quick hookup, which goes totally against its original intention. To top this off, reports from people who had what were supposedly successful cuddle sessions still thought the entire experience was really weird, as cuddling with a stranger doesn't exactly feel the same as when you do it with someone you're actually intimate with. As a result, while this app is initially popular after its 2014 release, it ended up getting quite a bit of backlash, causing its creators to shut it down afterward. Number 2. Spirit Storybox. Whether you believe in them or not, ghosts and ghost hunters have fascinated humankind for centuries. And while ghost hunting techniques are often seen as dubious and pseudoscientific today, ghost hunters still star on many TV shows across the airwaves, thus making the market for ghost-related content alive and well. As such, it seems that Spirit Storybox has capitalized on this success by making it possible for its users to hunt for ghosts all on their own. That's because thanks to the app supposedly using both technology pioneered by scientifically trained paranormal investigators and a, quote, proprietary story engine that produces multi-worded simple sentences or a single-word output, the app is able to decipher the words of ghosts around you. According to its creators, users can choose to both ask questions to the ghosts in a room or just sit and wait, and at some point, they will communicate through the app. Unsurprisingly, this app's claims have both been the subject of a lot of criticism and support on both sides. Proponents such as Wanda Lou Willis, who is a 75-year-old folklore historian and author from Indianapolis, claim that using an electronic device would be perfectly plausible because, quote, electricity seems to attract the spirits, end quote. However, skeptics claim that the app is really just a well-laid-out random word generator and is not actually able to pick up on anything supernatural. Regardless, the app has certainly spiked the curiosity of many. Number 1. Binky. Whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or Snapchat, all four have one commonality. They are meant to help you be more social. After all, be it sending silly pictures to your friends or posting the dankest memes on your spam account, social media really helps you get out of your bubble. However, with Binky, you get all the benefits of a social media app without the social aspect. How, you may ask? Well, Binky works by giving you a feed filled with infinite posts of random pictures, which are known as binks. As you might imagine, some of these binks may not resonate with you, but those that do can be liked, commented on using a random word generator, shared, or even swiped left or right on. However, what makes the app strange is that all of this has no purpose, as there's no one who will see what you like, read what you comment, experience what you share, or even respond to your right or left swipes. As a result, this app is made to feel like all of your favorite social media apps put into one, except in reality it has absolutely no purpose but to kill time. Now, the developers of this app claim that Binky essentially takes the stress out of social media, as you can experience the micro-excitement of liking a post without having any real-world implications. In fact, it's the only social media platform that's completely private, as none of what you do can be seen by anyone else. Therefore, while aimlessly scrolling through pictures of hermit crabs, cupcakes, and hockey players may not seem like the most efficient use of time, Binky's concept sure is interesting nonetheless. Watch our binge-watching playlist if you'd like to watch all of our most popular top 15 videos. Grab a drink, grab a snack, and get ready to binge.